I'm curious how you actually approach nutrition leading up to the races and then breaking that down on race day, because there's so many people out there that, and especially the guys who have come on our show, mostly low carb guys, but I'm curious how you found the secret sauce for yourself, what you've found to work and bring out the best performance for you when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah, so I'll probably start like just with the basics. So like my diet is pretty boring. Like I eat the exact same thing like every day for the first 3 meals, like full transparency. But then that helps it translate to like to race day and helps me like add on to that. So like for example, like just my daily, like when I'm in full training and even now, like here's what it is. So it's like pre-run, it'll be bread, nut butter, honey with my pour over coffee. I'll do my activation, go out and run. And right before I start, I'll rip a ketone IQ. So do that, come back, and I just make a big smoothie afterwards. So it's going to be um, almond milk, banana, blueberries, sometimes strawberries, big handful of spinach, um, raw whey isolate protein, collagen, um, and creatine. So that's going to be my post meal. If I'm super hungry, I'll have another piece of bread with nut butter and honey. But typically that's all I have, and also have another shot of ketone IQ. My lunch, very boring. It's just gonna be like a tuna, cranberry apple tuna salad wrap. Just from Whole Foods, throwing tortilla with an apple, some electrolytes. That's my lunch. Second run, then dinner varies as long as I'm getting like a protein source, carb, and veggie. Like I roll with that. So it's typically like tonight, like we're trying to literally like before I got in here, I was talking to Alice. I'm like, what do you want for dinner? Because we haven't figured out yet. Probably just gonna do like salmon, white rice, and like cauliflower.
Mm.
Super simple. Just keep it simple. Then I'll usually have like yogurt before bed. Or just another protein shake. So very standard. But that's what I do every single day, especially those first 3 meals, like the pre-run, post-run, lunch. Because I know exactly how I feel, how I'm gonna recover, how I'm gonna feel for that first run, how I'm gonna feel for that second run, how my stomach's gonna feel. If I have a workout, like a bigger session, I'll typically add like I'll be sipping like liquid carbs. Usually have a full bottle of that before like with breakfast before I even go out for my run. Then if it's like a marathon specific session, I'll be having something every liquid carbs every roughly 3-4 miles. Then every like roughly 10 miles, we'll be having a ketone shot with those carbs. Is how I'll mix in during a workout. So that's kind of how I broke it in through like my marathon and through the 50 miler. So let's say just every standard day of the week, that's what I do. The workout days, more carbs, more liquid carbs. Yeah, I'm definitely not a low carb keto guy. I just feel like I perform better off of that.
Yeah.
I haven't really, I don't want to go through any sort of, and it's like, I respect the guys that do it. I just don't want to go through, I'm just like training volume is too high to try to switch up my diet completely, and
Yeah.
risk anything. Um, so that being said now, so like take that kind of copy and paste. It's like a race week. Like let's say the race is on a Saturday, like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that'll be super standard. Then I'll focus on adding way more carbs that Thursday. So it'll just be like an extra serving of it'll be like liquid carbs in the morning, pre-run, extra slice of bread, nut butter, honey, extra like banana in my smoothie. After that, it'll be an extra serving of carbs with lunch. Um, I forgot to mention too. I also have like a chopped up apple. I'm not sure if I mentioned that with lunch every
Mm.
single day. And then for dinner, I'll like almost eat myself to the point like or eat enough carbs to the point where I just feel disgusting. So it's like let's say I'll have like pasta or I'll eat like 3 or 4 breadsticks with pasta just to like almost like feel puffy and gross. I don't count calories, but I know I'm trying to get at least probably 500-600 grams of carbs in that day. So again, I'm just kind of guesstimating, but I know kind of how I feel off of like the extra servings with pre-run, post-run, lunch, and then usually if I start feeling disgusting at dinner with whether it's pasta, something light, whether it's like a chicken, a lighter meat, then the breadsticks, and I'll still have like an extra like usually like a Morton bar or something before bed, just extra carbs. That Thursday, then that Friday, I'll go back to like my standard diet because carbs typically peak in your system, 24 to 36 hours. So I might have a little bigger breakfast, then I'll just go eat normally so I don't feel gross race morning, kind of that Friday.
Mm.
Um, Usually my standard pre-race meal is just I just go sushi. I'll do a couple spicy salmon rolls because that's one that can be rice, the seaweed wrap, and salmon. Super standard. With maybe like a small side salad, and it sits really well. Super light. Then roll into race day, and obviously race days. more carbs, liquid carbs at the start, have an extra serving, like have like another Morton solid bar with that, and then kind of go into the race, and every like 3 or 4 miles gonna be liquid carbs. Um, Typically I'll rotate. So I'll go like liquid carbs. Then my next bottle like will be a gel with electrolytes to wash the gel down. Then my third bottle will be like liquid carbs, the ketone. Then try to rotate that. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's what I did in the marathon. But the 5th mile was a little more unique, where the stations were roughly every 5 miles. Like the first station was like 5.5, it was like 10.9, 13 point something, 16 point. So it's like it averaged out to be, 5 miles, where it was a little shorter, a little more on some fronts. So there was like, I had to be pretty unique trying to optimize how many carbs I was getting in.
Mm.
So I just ended up going, it was like ripped a Morton Gel 160, so 40 grams of carbs, ketone shot right at the start. I always do that before a race or a big workout, have an extra gel right at the start of the workout. Like I said, have the carbs throughout, but with the 5th mile, it was essentially rotating like electrolytes with a Morton Gel 160. Then the next bottle was going to be, because it was roughly then 10 miles. I do liquid carbs with the ketone shot, gel with electrolytes, another, 3, 4, 5 miles later. Then another, roughly 20 miles, liquid carbs with the ketone shot, rotate those. So that's how I did it. Just to make sure I was getting enough ketones to help with the glycogen sparing, help with focus, also like double dosing with the carbs. So kind of the dual fueling right there.
Mm.
Then the other bottles, making sure I'm getting the gel down, and make sure I'm also getting enough electrolytes in with electrolytes in that bottle, just to kind of wash it down. Didn't necessarily have to finish that bottle, but like I made sure I finished the liquid carbs through and through. So, and the gels at least. So
Nice. I like how you described it as like a really boring approach for your not non-race day nutrition. Because there's so many factors at play, and just being able to actually solve for some of the inconsistencies that can happen. I'm sure with running, it's just like you just want to show up on race day feeling the exact same you would any other day. So being able to solve and actually just keep some of these variables consistent is probably huge for you. Just like not having to worry about feeling up, feeling down, feeling bloated, feeling more tired. It's just like, just keep it simple, have the foods that you like, and keep hammering those. And I think that is like, just seems like the right approach for someone who's trying to like push themselves in the endurance space.
yeah, I mean, at this time, like truthfully, it's mindless. Like I could
Yeah.
go, like, I mean, my kitchen's just right here. I have a small condo here in Boulder, but like I could go like into my kitchen like blindfolded and make my smoothie. Like
Yeah.
like it's just routine now, and my body's just used to it, and I know how I feel off it, know how I recover. Like I said, I know how my stomach's gonna feel on my second run. Where if I go and like sometimes I'll go out and like somebody's like, hey, you want to grab lunch? Like I'll go make sure I have like a super basic like turkey sandwich, turkey, lettuce, or like BLTs sit fine too, just like something super, super basic is all I'll do for lunch with some sort of fruit or like a small side salad. But I just know exactly how that's gonna sit in my stomach. So I don't mess with any of that.
Mm. You
And
mentioned,
even too,
oh,
oh,
go ahead.
go ahead. Well, I'll say even for like pre-workout days, I'm gonna have a dinner that I know sits well, like the night before. Like I know sushi sits well. I know like one of my favorite go-tos is just like Dijon rosemary chicken, white rice with like broccoli. Like I always know it's going to sit super well if I have a workout the next morning. So just keeping that super standard across the board.
I love it.